Welcome back everyone. So today I'm going to be talking about, is CryptoBlades still worth it from the perspective of a developer, kinda. So the things I'm going to mention in this video are, I'm going to give an update on the weekly price action. I'm going to talk about, is it worth it to get into the game? I'm going to talk about how you can get started if you want to. I'm going to talk about future updates and my thoughts on them. And also lastly, I'm going to talk about where you can get in early to these kind of games. So remember, this is not financial advice, and I still think this is a high risk investment, so keep that in mind. All right, so let's jump right into it and talk about the weekly price action for CryptoBlades. This week, we've reached an all-time high of around $180, and right now we're sitting at $133, so there's a little bit of a dip. And last week when we made the video, we were actually sitting at around $29, $30, $28, around there. So it has risen by about 4 to 5x. Is this the top? I don't personally think so. If we look at games like Axie Infinity, that saw itself, look at this ridiculous spike. It pretty much doubled in the last week that we talked about it, and had a $2.5 billion market cap, even higher than that because it's down a little bit at the moment. And yeah, so I don't think this is the end for CryptoBlades. I don't think this is the top. I think that there's still plenty of room to grow. 2.5 billion is still 25 times the current market cap of CryptoBlades. I think there's still a lot more players. And I even think CryptoBlades might even have more potential to grow just because it's on the Binance Smart Chain. No idea if this is true or not, but it's definitely something to consider. Axie Infinity is on the Ethereum network. You need Ethereum to buy. And I think that newer users or people looking to get into these kind of games, they will have a much easier time using the Binance network and putting their money in the Binance network and moving it around than they will on the Ethereum network. So that's definitely something to consider. But let's talk about the question you guys want to know the answer to. Is it still worth it to play CryptoBlades? Is it going to put you back too far monetarily, or is it worth the investment? So when I started, I put around $200 into the game to get 4 level 1s and a 3-star sword, and now you can actually put about $128 or $130 one skill to get 2 characters for 1 skill each. But you get the sign up bonus here. So when you click this recruit character for 0.97 skill, you'll get 1 skill as well. So you can actually recruit 2 characters for less than 1 skill. So that's about $130 for 2 characters, and you also get a starting sword with that. And if you want to buy more characters, at the moment it's about 0.5, 0.6 skill for another character. So that's about another $150. So let's just say it's about $300 to $325 to get a full set of 4 characters and a weapon, which is pretty good. Now last week, when we talked about it, the price being $28.85, I did some calculations and I found that in order to get a level 1 character, and I had a look at how much skill it was back then, so it was 3.65 skill to get a level 1 character and 1 weapon, and this cost was about $105. So that was for 1 character. So for 2 characters, I don't know if it was you were able to do the same thing you were here to get the skill bonus, but to get 2 characters back then, if we just doubled that amount, it was about $200. So you're looking at about $100 more, which is kind of crazy given that the price has 4 to 5 times since the last time we looked at it. And it's only about $100 more to be able to get into the game. So that's actually a pretty good sign. Like it's not the new players being able to get into the game. It's not impossible. Like it's the cost is rising, but it's not becoming unrealistic. So let's talk about that for a minute. Like why, if the price has risen so much, like if it's $130, why is it that the price to enter hasn't increased? Well, that's because CryptoBlades has this amazing feature called the Oracle, the price Oracle, which will change the price depending on the amount that skill is worth. So when I bought into the game, I probably paid about 5 to 6 skill per character, and now characters are worth 0.97 skill. Also weapons, the price for forging weapons has changed. It's gone down a lot. I think it's about 2 skill when I started. And also the amount you make in the game has also gone down. So it's gone down by a ton. Like you make less the more that skill is worth. It balances that out. So I've switched over to one of my accounts, and I'm going to take a look at how much you can actually make with 2 characters for 1 skill and that, their initial starting sword. So if we look at, if we move this down to level 1 and we make sure that we've got a 1-star sword, and we want kind of like, around 50. I think the starting swords range from 0 to 100. So let's just put that in the middle of a sword you would have got. And let's calculate this. And you'll see that for 1 character, you'd be making about $16.50 a day, double that, so about $33 a day for your 2 starting characters and starting sword. $33 a day. It's only going to take you about 4 days to recover that initial investment, which is crazy. Like 4 days to get that money back. And if you actually invested in a few more characters, then you'd be making $66 a day. And again, it would probably take about 4 days to recover your investment. So, I mean, based on this, I think it's still worth it. I'm just about to cash out today. You'll be able to see right here how much skill that I've made in the last week. So about a week ago, I staked my skill. I staked twice in the same day just to check how it works. So basically, you stake your skill, and then in a week's time, it's available for you to get it out, and you earn a reward for it. However, if you keep on staking throughout the week, then this doesn't reset. It doesn't stay locked. It'll actually just keep counting down with the same amount of time, and you'll be able to get out all of your skill at the end of the week. So it's a really good way to see how much, track how much you've earned throughout the week. I started with about 15 skill, and over the week on this character, I earned about 11.6 skill. So in 1 week, if we have the price of skill, it's about $1,400, something like that, US. From having these characters. Remember, your characters do level up throughout the week. I think these guys started at level like 20 or something like that. And so you just make more and more money as the weeks go by. When you get to the point that I'm at now, so this if we look at the earnings for these kind of characters, we'll say that my average character is around, we'll say 28, something like that. Oops. And on this account in particular, I have a 4-star weapon, lightning, that has pretty good stats. I think it's 350, something like that. If I calculate here, so this account in particular earns about $4,600 a month, or $156 a day. So it's a pretty big increase to the level 1s. Like if we go back to level 1s of like what you'd be playing, so 156, and then if we had a level 1, it would be about 66, so about 3 times the amount. But this will happen as you play. You'll be able to get more and more skill. Say after the first week, you decided to upgrade your weapon, and you even have enough profit after the first week to take some money out. Like you'll be able to make your money back in 4 days, and then start either earning extra money or putting money back into the game after those after that first week. So yeah, so that's how much you can make. And last week we talked about playing optimally, and I think it's pretty much the same. What you're going to want is 4 characters to play optimally. You're going to want a 3 or a 4-star weapon that has high stats. We can talk about weapons at some time in the future, but I'll give a really quick overview. You basically want to buy weapons because these will be the cheapest weapons. Like this is the weapon I started off with, and I think it cost quite a bit to get it. A 3-star, and it's got a very high stat. For 3-star weapons, the stats range from 0 to 400, and so, or 200 to 400, I should say. And so, this weapon is really good for lightning characters. However, this weapon here, which is a 4-star, it doesn't combo the same way. You can see that the elements don't match up in the same way this 3-star one does. However, the weapon is still ridiculously strong because it's a 4-star weapon, and you earn a lot more money on a 4-star than you would a 3-star. I can show you that really quick. So I think it's definitely worth it. If we go to the earnings calculator, let's just have a look at 3-star. 156. But if we had a 4-star weapon with the same stats that I have here, it should be slightly more, 179. So you're earning about, $20, $30 more a day just for having this 4-star weapon. It only costs about 2 or 3 skill to get that 4-star weapon. So, you can buy that in a week or two of your earnings and then just be earning, more money per day. If you're thinking about this in the long term. And also something I want to talk about is that the great thing about this game is that even if the price of skill dips, like if it goes down, like say we went back down to $28 or whatever, then everything in the game will scale. So the amount of money that you make, your earnings per day will basically stay very similar. Skill will scale depending on the amount of money you make in the game will scale depending on the price of skill. And I think the developers want to keep the profit at around this level. And so even if the price does dip, you're still going to be able to make money back from your investment. I don't think it'll be as much, but it'll definitely still be similar to the amount that's on the earnings calculator, unless the game fully crashes or something like that. But remember, this isn't financial advice, so it's still risky, so keep that in mind. Now, let's talk about future updates to the game. I've been helping to make minor changes to the game, and so I've got access to the development team and what they're talking about. And I know there's a lot of developments coming, raids, PvP, cosmetics, all of these rewards, all of these ways to spend skill in the game for, to get stuff back, all of these ways for early people into the game. It's still incredibly early, guys. This game's only been out for a few months. All these ways for the people that are early to the game to make a long-term investment and get their money back, or, potentially make big money in the future. And I've seen what the team is thinking about in terms of the future and managing things like the skills price and the oracle and managing the supply and things like that. And right now, it's pretty harmonious. It's not chaotic on the back end. Even though, there's so many new users and all of those things, they're still managing things really well. They're still, being kind to people. They're still managing the development team pretty well. It's pretty exciting. It's pretty fast paced. And there's a lot of changes that are coming. And that's pretty much all I want to talk about there. We'll go further into detail on the development side of things later. But I wanted to lastly talk about how I actually got into and found CryptoBlades early. And the way I did that was through this company called Fund or Seedify. So if we go to their ticker on CoinMarketCap. So Seedify Fund, when I got into it, they're basically an incubator. If you invest in them, then when a company like CryptoBlades launches, they give them some tokens to give out to people that invested. And so if you were invested in Seedify, you'd get these tokens as like a gift, as like a payout for investing into Seedify. And although CryptoBlades didn't go through Seedify directly, Seedify did help them with their launch. And so that's how I saw it. I saw it on their Twitter page, which Twitter is one of the best ways to get updates in the crypto scene. Highly recommend it. But you can also invest in Seedify Fund to see future games that come out, because there was a recent update that Seedify made where they basically said they're switching to only launching these crypto games companies. And so if you want to get in really early, then you can follow Seedify. You can see when one of these game companies launches. If you've got the money, you can invest it in, but not really necessary, because if you see who they're working with before they launch, they will announce that before they launch who they're working with. You can go and check those games out super early and get in really early. But yeah, that's pretty much everything, guys. Links for everything will be below. If I saved you money or made you money, then feel free to donate as well. Really helps me out. You can sub, you can like, and you can comment below if you have any thoughts or if you have any questions. There'll be me or someone else in the chat to help. Hope you enjoyed the video and have a great rest of your day.